Episode 1, Steven Universe. So, this being the pilot, it created like the first build up to the characters. And I think this is something that didn't work really well in this episode, since it kind of felt like we are supposed to already know the characters. That it's like, yeah, here they are, no introduction. I think names were briefly mentioned, like also like a rather important side character, Sadie. I don't know if her name was mentioned like at all. They were just thrown into. We would just had a like from a short story, like we are thrown in, and it's their life situation, and yeah, I don't think the episode did really well with that, with an introduction. While it being the pilot, it should be doing good at that. But still, well, I can summarize now what of an introduction we actually did get. Like, the very first thing that is very important of this episode is that it shows off who Steven Universe is. I mean, he is like the main character, the absolutely main character, and he is depicted a little bit annoying in the beginning. Perhaps very annoying. You get rather used to that with time. But he is a child. He's a 14-year-old boy. And you really, really see that. And his relationship to simple things like snacks, which are actually nice. And also what the episode does with a relationship to a simple thing like food is, I think, great. Seriously. But yeah, let's stay with the characters for now. And yeah, Steven is depicted as the child he is. That he has some magic powers. And yeah, I mean, this is great about him. We don't know too much about it. It starts with there's Steven, he has magic, some sort of magic. And throughout the episode, we learn a little bit more about it, that it is triggered by emotions, for example, and by happiness. And especially one thing that I realized with that is that he triggered it in the very first episode when he was flawless. I mean, like he was himself. This was very important for this episode, that Steven had to be himself to experience magic. And yeah, this was basically Steven. Now about the other important characters, perhaps I'll go first with like Sadie and Lars. They are the people that are working in the donut shop, if you don't know that. And well, they're just depicted like, yeah, they work there, and Lars is a little bit of an ass, and Sadie is rather nice, explaining why the cookie cats that Steven was looking for aren't sold anymore. And or was it Lars that explained that? Not sure, but Steven was told, yeah, that his favorite cookie cats aren't sold anymore. Anyways, so yeah, those are like side characters that appear a lot of times. I think they're done really nicely, and they have a subplot that, yeah, well, this is something for later episodes anyways. So now, very, very important, other very important characters, which I think the episode could have done a better job of introducing, are the gems. Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, since they were introduced in a simple battle scene. And the battle scene of the centipedes wasn't bad. I mean, the animation was awesome. However, I think it gave us some wrong feelings. For example, one thing that I really didn't like was the one scene where Pearl snapped a neck of a centipede, which I think was a little bit brutal, like unnecessary. Also with how she is depicted, like the smart one, the decent one, the calm one, and she is shown off with this brutality to protect Steven in the end, which is nice, but still, it was pretty brutal to see that she just snapped the neck. And yeah, other than that, they were all pretty much only shown battling, and also, yeah, besides that, they were their compassion for Steven was shown, which was really, really great. Like, their characters in themselves weren't touched by themselves. Like, yeah, we all only saw all of them as a unit, and without their individual personalities, which are later on freaking important. Like, this is the thing. And for a pilot episode, I wished I would have seen that in the first episode. But yeah, it wasn't there. It didn't get such a high rating, and this is why it for me wouldn't get a high rating. Still, the animation in Steven Universe is freaking beautiful, and the music is wonderful. I mean, I freaking enjoy the music of Steven Universe. And one other big thing that I really, really have to say about this episode, also especially, is the emotions that are targeted. That Steven, this is what I mentioned a few seconds ago, is that Steven was able to cast his magic when he was himself, when he wasn't trying to force anything, when he was enjoying, when he actually got from the crystal gems a cookie cat, and he could enjoy himself, enjoy, not thinking about anything else, enjoying the moment. And this is what who Steven is, and this is where the magic worked. Also, one very nice lesson that comes with this is within this episode, the other gems try to teach Steven how to use magic. And for example, Pearl told him to work hard, Amethyst told him to completely chill out, and totally different approach. And Garnet said something about like powers from the universe, taking a completely different approach, which was too much for Steven. I mean, he is a 14-year-old boy, and it was too much for him. Actually, funny scene, but one very important thing that I've learned from that, and I think this is very important for everybody to learn, is that sometimes people tell you, this is how it works for me, and if I do it this way, it works out for me every time, and you should do it the same way too. I mean, it worked for me, it has to work for you as well. That's not how it works, and the episode Steven Universe showed this really, really nice. That this is not the right approach. It's better to have your own way. Like, yes, you can learn from others, but sometimes you also have to consider that maybe other people are not really helpful in some situations. Like, you can ask them, but if they say this is the only way, be careful with that. And I think this is the beautiful thing that Steven Universe has, teaches stuff like this. And if you listen a little bit deeper into it, which I think is absolutely amazing about this show. So thanks for watching. If I missed anything, or if you want to add anything, write it down in the comments. And thank you very much for listening. Have a great day.